Hola, buenos días.
Good morning, guys.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas noches.
Welcome to
Cafecito and Crime.
This is Barb.
And this is Estella.
You know what? Let's see what you have for us today, Estella.
Oh, I'm going to give it to you.
You can give it to me?
I'm going to give it to you.
I'm ready for it. So this morning has been kind of long, but...
And it's only 10.
It's only 10. But grab your cafecitos.
And let's get started. Okay, so yesterday, not that anybody cares, but I feel like I'm just going to say it anyway.
Yeah.
Barbie brought me Vietnamese coffee yesterday.
I know, Vietnamese iced coffee. So I went to our local, because please shop local, because these people out here are struggling just like we are in the work field. I went over there and to get my brother-in-law donuts and kolaches. Yeah. No, I got them like a cinnamon twist or something. Point of the story is Estela bought. I went to this local donut place, and every time I go in there, they have this sign, y dice Vietnamese coffee, iced coffee. So I was like, oh my God, every time I go in there, I'm like, I'm going to order one next time. Because most of the time I already have coffee or I don't need all that.
You make it from home.
Yeah. So then I get there, and the lady, I was like, oh, okay. Y no había nadie. So I kind of felt kind of bad, como que she had not sold a lot. I don't know, probably not, but in my mind. So then I was like, oh, can I have one today? And she's like, yeah. I was like, which was your favorite? And she said, French vanilla. And I said, okay, well, give me that one. So I bought her that one.
Because vanilla is my favorite. I'm basic like that.
Bitch, it was so good.
And I've had the Vietnamese coffee before. Remember we went to the Bubba place? Boba, whatever.
No hay pedo, no sabe hablar, güey. She's on her almost second coffee, so.
Yeah, it's been a long morning. And that one, I don't know. I liked it, but I feel like this one that you got for me yesterday, it was way better. Like if it wasn't too sweet or anything like that, I really did enjoy it and I needed it.
Yeah, it was really good. And then I had regular coffee that she made me really strong. Because if y'all didn't know and y'all need to know, I have ADD. So for me, coffee.
It was strong? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was perfect.
It was a dark roast.
It was perfect.
And that I usually do a medium roast, but ese that I have, I even like... So, it was like whole bean. I even ground it up for her.
Yeah,
and
she did. No. Sacó la maquinita. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Pero let me tell y'all guys. So if I don't know if there's a lot of people out there that have adult ADD, but if you do have, for us, coffee, no nos hace nada.
Barbie's going to be a little bit chatty today, but that's, I mean, we like chatty.
So no nos hace nada el pinche café because like we need some strong ass shit, so we can focus. So Estela, I was like, give me the most hardcore bitch coffee de hija que me salgan pinches pelos en la pinche chest, güey. Toda pinche, it was crazy.
But anyway, that was our coffee story. Not that anybody cares that I
had three people.
That I had Vietnamese coffee yesterday.
Please share and let
also,
everybody
today
know.
It's awesome because it's cold.
Yes. So, we don't get this very often here in Texas. Yeah. In the South.
And not that maybe a lot of people, it's like, well, here, in the morning, it was like 44 degrees. So I busted out the Uggs.
No, this bitch brought the fucking boots with the fur. Bitch, when she walked in, I said, first of all, I was half asleep. And I looked at her and I said, no, you didn't wear the fur boots. She was like, I fucking did.
Yeah, I was like, wow. It's boots with the fur season outside, at least here in Houston. I know a lot of people might think that 44 degrees is not cold. Bitch, it's cold here.
Bitch, to me.
This is cold.
No, this is like cold to my fave. Yeah, my bones.
This is our fave. I was like, when I woke up in the morning, I was like, oh my God.
And then last night, estaba acostada, like just chilling, y nada que it was fucking getting cold and it was rainy. It was perfect. Anyway, so let's get started. Back to the...
Sorry, we just rambled a whole bunch. But anyway.
But let's get started.
Yes. With this perfect weather and our coffees.
And my ADD ass.
Yeah. She hasn't taken her meds. Okay. So today... Okay, sorry about that. So today's case, we're still in obviously it's fucking November and we're...
Early November. Let's say early November. So we can still do,
Hey, fucking Thanksgiving is in 2 weeks?
Bitch, Thanksgiving is in 2 weeks.
What?
Bro, all I hear when I hear Thanksgiving is the little song on TikTok, que the lady that's like... turkey, tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I can hear, right? Yeah. And corn.
Oh, I love cream corn. Oh. It's not a goodbye, it's a see you later when you eat corn.
See you later, corn. Bye. Y luego, güey.
Oh, sorry. So, yeah, we're still...
And she's not ADD, eh?
Hey,
I'm just saying.
I've had a lot of caffeine. Yeah. We're in November. It's Thanksgiving themed cases this month.
I love it.
And... For this case, it's called the Thanksgiving Murders.
Straight up. Just Thanksgiving murders.
Because it happened exactly like on Thanksgiving.
Chingon. Okay.
It's really fucking sad. So, and we're going to get into a lot of names. Like a lot of people are involved in this case. And
I don't know if anybody watches Bailey.
Sarian? Who doesn't?
Bailey
We love
Sarian.
Bailey.
I love Bailey, but if you do, go watch her, please. And besides that, if you do know Bailey Sarian, can you tell her to please DM me? Because I'm like literally like lesbian obsessed with her. But anyway, she had, I don't know if you remember this episode or this case, that she had a board and she was like writing everybody's names down. Yeah.
I think I might have. Yeah.
So anyway,
so yeah.
Let us know if you listen to Bailey. Anybody else?
Yes,
are
please.
obsessed as we are. Even my daughter is obsessed with Bailey. She's just so gorgeous. Like, I can't deal with her.
And so there's going to be a lot of names. And I think I've tried, or I pulled up the pronunciations of the names. And I'm going to try really hard to not butcher all the names.
We're bilingual. We're not trilingual.
No, exactly.
So,
well, I mean, they're in English. Pero
we try the trilingual. No, como quiera, pues estás bien pendeja, güey. Así que...
Así estamos. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try really, really hard. And I'm going to try to explain it in a way that's not super duper confusing.
Okay, let's get started.
For today's case, we're staying motherfucking again in California.
Dude, why the fuck in California?
I don't know.
Y luego se querían venir para acá. I'm like, no, please do not come over.
Se están viniendo para acá.
Se están viniendo.
So, like I said, we're staying in California, in Oakland, California, to be exact.
Oakland.
And the fun fact, or just kind of like fact, is that one of the theme parks in Oakland, California, inspired Walt Disney's Disneyland.
What?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that park there was a children's theme park called Fairyland.
Wow, Fairyland.
And it's still in Oakland. That park is still in Oakland.
I'm gonna look it up, bitch.
Fairyland opened in 1950, and Walt Disney visited the park in 1955 while Disneyland was still in development and I believe in under construction. And he was able to get kind of like the mood and the features and the layout of what he wanted for Disneyland. He even ended up hiring Fairyland's director and some of the puppeteers to work for Disneyland when it opened.
You know what, guys? I'm looking it up.
Oh, girl.
Wow. Se me atoró la pinche lengua, la verga. It literally looks straight up like if it was...
You get Disneyland vibes?
Copycat Disneyland, for real. Like, tienen los little, like... Well, I've been to Disneyland, but I was like, what, 15? I'm like 100 now. Pero, like, literally, it looks straight up. That's so crazy. They have, like, the little, the rabbit and shit.
Yeah, kind of like the vibes. And obviously, it wasn't the only theme park that he got inspiration from, but Fairyland was one of them.
That's crazy. That's awesome. Good one, sister.
Thanks. High five.
High five. Yeah, we're stupid.
Okay, let's get started. Like I said, there's going to be a shit ton of names. I apologize if I cannot pronounce them. So we're going to begin with the Gebreselassie family.
Okay. Gabriel?
Gebre.
Okay.
They consisted of 11 siblings.
Wow.
And it's going to be 8 men and 3 women.
Mexican vibes and shit.
But we're only going to focus on about 4 or 5 of the brothers, not all of the brothers. And
because that would be bad. 11 people to remember. That's a lot.
Yeah. Involved in one case. Ooh, that would be a lot. Pero Asmerom was the second oldest brother of the Gebreselassie family.
I have a question already. Where are they from?
About to say it.
Okay.
And he left Ethiopia.
Oh, Ethiopia. Okay.
Like in the mid-1980s.
I like that name, Ethiopia.
And he migrated to the U.S. And he settled in Oakland, California with some relatives like around 1985. And later, he helped the rest of his family migrate to the U.S. And it was like his siblings and then his mom. So everybody ended up coming and settling in Oakland, California.
Yeah, kind of like us.
Yeah.
Immigration vibes.
Now, in 1998, Abraham, who was the oldest brother of the Gebreselassie family, who was 34 at the time, went back to Ethiopia, Eritrea area for a vacation or like a holiday. Y ahí he met 20-year-old Winta Mehari. So the Meharis and the Gebreselassies are what the case is about.
Okay, got it.
They eventually got married. Y él se la trajo a vivir in Oakland in 1999.
Got it.
Okay.
Oh, so this is not an old case.
Yeah, in 2006 it happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Winta was living in the U.S., the Gebreselassies helped sponsor Winta's family so they could come to the U.S. también. I believe like in the early 2000s. I think they ended up coming over in 2000, 2001. Por ahí.
Okay.
Winta's family consisted of her mom, Regby, I'm so sorry, her twin brothers, Merhawi, Angusum, and Jonas and Yeferum. Winta's family obviously settled in Oakland, California también, duh. And they also...
because they want to be together with their family.
Right. Mm-hmm. And they also moved into the same apartment complex where the Gebreselassies lived, which was Keller Plaza apartment complex. And at Keller Plaza, there was a big community of from the countries of Ethiopia and Eritrea. And not just in Keller Plaza, but just northern Oakland had a big community. Now, Ethiopia, like a little backstory real quick, Ethiopia and Eritrea border each other in Africa. And from 1961 to 1991, Eritrea was fighting for their independence from Ethiopia. So it was during that time of conflict that people were seeking refugee elsewhere. So a lot of people a lot of people were leaving. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Now, Winta and Abraham eran los únicos que no vivían at Keller Plaza. They didn't live in Oakland. They lived in Berkeley, which was just like a 15-minute drive from Oakland.
I think we talked about Berkeley in our last...
Did we?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
One of the ladies said, I don't know if you've heard last podcast or last recording, but if you do, it's really good. Check it out. I think one of the ladies' moms lived in Berkeley. I think we did mention Berkeley before.
Y se fue, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, that's cool. What a quinky dinky.
Yeah. So both families were super close. Like, it was just like a really tight-knit community.
I would know.
They were like one giant-ass family. They shared holidays together, birthdays. They'd have like weekly dinners. So everything was going great. Everybody was super close, spending holidays together, so on and so forth.
We can relate to that.
Yes.
Okay.
In 2004, Winta gives birth to her and Abraham's son, Isaac. Now, Winta was also attending California State University, East Bay, and she was working towards a degree in business administration.
Yes, ma'am.
So she was out here doing the damn thing, she's getting her education.
Bitch. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
And she was going to school, and Abraham ran an auto shop. So, they were...
They were working. Yes, ma'am. Because that's what people that are immigrants come to this country to do.
Yeah.
Somos trabajadores. Yeah. Es lo que hacemos.
Everything was going well for everyone up until 2006. And this is when everything takes place.
It's about to go down.
On March 1st, Winta le habló a 911 and told them that her husband was unresponsive y que no se estaba moviendo and that he wasn't breathing. And this was in la mañana. So this was in the morning. Yeah.
Okay.
So the ambulance gets there and Abraham is pronounced dead.
A la madre. So...
He was 42.
Wow.
He was 42 and Abraham was like seemingly healthy.
Bitch, that's like 4 years older than me.
No, bitch, you're not 40. That would be 40.
I'm 36.
He was 42.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's 6 years.
Oh, 6 years. Oh, shit, I can't count. Okay.
She didn't take her medicine.
But still, bitch, that's like young.
Yeah.
Wow, pobrecito. Did they have a cause of death yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the fact that he just died out of nowhere was a shock to everyone, especially his family.
Yeah, because he was working the auto shop and shit. Yeah. Like, they had it going on. Like, what the hell?
Now, an autopsy was conducted, and it was conducted by pathologist Thomas Rogers. And his report stated that it was a natural death, but it was inconclusive.
What?
And his toxicology report came back like negative, no type of drugs in his system, no alcohol, nothing. It was nothing.
Wow.
And it was believed that he ended up dying of cardiac arrest, which, and I looked into it. I'm like, how is it a natural death? And you can't figure it out what it is.
See, because if you have a heart attack, you'll be able to tell if they open up the heart and the heart stop. You'll be able to see that.
And then I looked it up and it says that according to the National Library of Medicine.gov, these say that cardiac disease is the most important cause of sudden death, especially after the age of 40.
Yeah.
And that close to 10% of cases may remain unexplained after a complete autopsy investigation. So even though the autopsy wasn't conclusive, they believe that was the cause of it.
Yeah, that makes no sense, though.
It was like some big old scientific words, something macroscopic, microscopic, and then I was
understand that. But what I'm saying is, like, isn't that weird that they were like, he had a heart attack, but it's inconclusive?
No, they never said it was a heart attack. It was inconclusive, but it was believed. They couldn't really write it down in the report that's what it was. Okay. It was just that it was a natural cause death, that there was no foul play, that he passed away.
Okay. Keep going.
So for whatever reason, Asmerom, which was the one that came to the U.S. from Ethiopia, Eritrea first, believed that Winta and her family had something to do with Abraham's death and that they killed him somehow.
What? Okay.
So Asmerom and one of his other brothers, Tesfu, decided to go to the Berkeley Police Department y hablar con Sergeant Rittenhouse. And they told him about their suspicions, that que pensaron que la familia de their in-laws were the ones that had something to do with Abraham's death. So Sergeant Rittenhouse is like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And he does his due diligence and he starts looking into, you know.
I mean, he les hizo caso. He's like, okay, well, let's see what are you talking about?
Yeah, he reviewed Abraham's autopsy report and the 911 transcript cuando Winta called. Y they even interviewed Winta and Dr. Rogers, which is a pathologist that conducted his autopsy. And they even spoke to another pathologist that the Gebreselassies hired on the side to review the report, the initial report, the Dr. Rogers.
Oh, shit. They went there. They were like, okay, vamos a ver qué es lo que pasó, you know?
And they also talked to, or Sergeant Rittenhouse also talked to a supervising investigator with the coroner's office. So they looked into it. What? And Sergeant Rittenhouse, he was like, dude, we didn't find anything. There's no foul play. And Sergeant le dijo esto a Asmerom y a su familia, and that there was nothing further to look into because everything, you know, it seemed suspicious.
Wow. Okay.
So Asmerom did not let this go. And a huevo, he was like, no, they killed my brother.
They had something to
do with it.
Pero es que también a lo mejor, like, he just couldn't believe him. Like, we can't, that he's so young, nothing going on, y de repente, un heart attack. Yeah. You know, like, I don't blame him. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And he believed that the Meharis had something to do with Abraham's death, like I just said, and he kept calling up Sergeant Rittenhouse, asking him to keep looking into whatever happened to his brother. He even called the insurance company that Abraham had his life insurance policy under, telling them to investigate his death. Because he did have a life insurance policy. It was $500,000. And they thought that...
he thought it was a motive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But they didn't find anything. There was nothing to find. Like, he hadn't been poisoned. He hadn't been drugged. Nothing. And this was like around August. And remember, Abraham had died in March. So all this time, he's had these suspicions que la familia de Winta le hizo algo
a su
hermano. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you know, Abraham tenía una life insurance policy for $500,000, and to Asmerom, that was a motive.
But what did you think? I mean, let's be realistic. Si él tenía un business, he was making money. It wasn't like money was something that they needed. Pero, I mean, think about it. If I was his family, like, I mean, it just doesn't sound like there's something that she did. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if everybody's laying all this shit out for you.
Yeah, y no entiendes? Like, también no mames.
I mean, like you said, initially, if you're suspicious of this person or suspicious.
Pero, dude, he died in March. This is August, bitch.
Right. Like, all this time,
you
you've
need
been
to
like,
move on.
Like you said, at first, si piensas, and then you go talk to the sergeant, and they do the work, they look into it, they're like, bro, there's nothing that we found. Like, ¿qué más quieres?
¿Qué más quieres?
Wouldn't you, I mean, looking at it from the outside.
Sí. You're like, then, what are you looking at? Like, dime, ¿qué es lo que tenemos que hacer?
Then
or whatever.
Would you be able to let it go? Like, after they told you no? Would you?
I think I would.
Yeah.
Would you? I mean, I would always have that behind the back of my head, but I mean, he's dead already. Me fighting them is not going to do nothing to get him back. I'm just saying, that's just me. I don't know about everybody else thinks.
So he also thought that another motive on why Winta could have killed Abraham was to keep him quiet about a specific type of secret.
Oh, pues espérate, ya se puso juicy aquel pedo, eh?
And the secret was that Mehari, one of Winta's brother, was gay. And that Abraham was going to release that information because he was molesting Isaac.
Stop it.
Yeah.
No mames.
And then, you know, being gay is like a big no-no in their community and in their culture. And it brings like dishonor on your family, and they can disown you, and people kill for this. Like in Ethiopia and Eritrea, like if they were saying that if they find out that you're, let's say that Mehari was found out to be gay, like people will kill your family just because they're related to you. Like people kill for that.
That's some crazy shit.
So that's what Asmerom thought, that, you know, that was one of the reasons porque besides the life insurance policy, because según Abraham was going to release this information.
Even if he was going to release the information, like...
And also, FYI, there was never any proof that...
That was what I was about to say, like, that's a whole separate, like, that's a whole... ¿Cómo se llama? A whole harina de otro costal, güey.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole another story
¿Que
about...
no es trigo?
No, es harina de otro costal. Porque hay harina y también trigo. But anyway, so it's like, or masa. I don't know. But anyway, es otro pinche pedo ese, güey. O sea, de que now you're accusing someone of molesting a little boy that's still alive. Like,
I mean, being gay is one thing, but molesting...
Pero ya se mamó, güey. Se mamó.
Yeah. Now, throughout the summer, like we said, he died in March, and when he was bugging people, it was August and all this other stuff. Asmerom went over to the Mehari's apartment, because remember, they all lived in the same complex?
Yes.
And would accuse him of killing Abraham.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, but stop.
And he'd get in their faces, way, like telling them, and her brothers just endlessly asking them questions, what did you do? So on and so forth. The Meharis,
by this time, ¿cuánto tiempo pasado?
It's still within...
August,
September,
October, like, okay, within the year. Okay, yes. Okay.
And the Meharis, ellos, they would be like up and down, swearing to had nothing to do with Abraham's death. They're like, why would, like nada que ver.
I mean, he was taking care of his family.
Right.
Estaba trabajando, estaba con su esposa, la estaba mandando a la escuela.
Yeah.
Like, they had their son. Like, what? Yeah, okay.
They told, like, I think he did it twice. And the second time, they told Asmerom que se fuera. And que si no se iba, they were going to, que se fuera, and that he was no longer welcomed in their home.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and amongst themselves, ya que se fue Asmerom, they're like, dude, if he ever comes back ever again, like, we're going to call the police because we've had enough of this shit. Him telling us that, accusing us and getting in our faces that we killed his brother.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Asmerom was the only Gebreselassie kind of that was banished from the Mehari household, from their home. On November 23rd, 2006, was Thanksgiving Day. And the Mehari family was celebrating Thanksgiving at Regby's apartment.
Okay.
The mom.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Tewodros Gebreselassie was there eating and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he was one of the Gebreselassie brothers. Other members of the Mehari family were also at the apartment. And they eventually left. The people that were left was Winta, her brothers, Angesam, Yepheram, Merhawi, Jonas, Regby, baby Isaac. Now, they're all Meharis, right?
So to clarify, guys, this is the family of the wife.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And then Tewodros, which was the only Gebreselassie in the apartment.
Which was the family of the husband?
That died.
Okay. Yes. So just to clarify, because it got kind of confusing there.
Yeah. So it was all Winta's family, her
wife?
son, the wife, and then the brother-in-law.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So shortly after 3 p.m., like around 3:10ish, Asmerom burst into the apartment and shot Winta, Regby, and Jonas, killing them.
What the fuck? So, okay, recap. The brother-in-law that was insisting que they had done something to his brother, which they never proved it, went into the apartment and killed the family of the wife.
Yes.
Of the widow. Okay.
Now, Winta was 28.
Oh my God.
Regby was 50 and Jonas was 17.
Wow.
And he shot up the apartment, right?
He's just shooting up everybody.
And as soon as Asmerom entered the apartment, Tewodros, I'm sorry, I think that's how you say his name, grabbed Isaac y se largó. Like, he just hauled ass.
Se llevó el baby.
Se llevó al niño.
Okay.
And Tewodros was playing with Isaac, so Isaac was right next to him. So when Angitsam, which is one of the brothers of Winta, saw that Asmerom had shot his family, he jumped out the window and he escaped. Because he saw bullets flying.
He's like, I gotta go.
Mm-hmm. They were on the 3rd floor, bitch. And he was seriously injured. I think he even like broke his back, and they thought he was going to end up being paralyzed, but he survived.
Stop.
I mean, he says, he lost consciousness. Desmayó toda la verga, which I get it.
Yeah, you get
Fucking
it.
Jump from the 3rd floor. Como esta, I'm sorry. I think her name was Lydia from the Kenya Monje case.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that she jumped out the burning
apartment. Yeah. Uh-huh. And she survived.
Mm-hmm. Asmerom also shot Yepheram in the ankle, and in the process, they were fighting. Yepheram managed to wrestle the 9mm semi-automatic pistol
Holy shit.
out of Asmerom's hands. So they were, struggling, fighting and stuff. Le quitó la gun, y Asmerom se para y se larga. He runs out of the apartment.
Okay.
And he goes to his mom's apartment. Because remember, they all lived in the same complex.
And
that's the same apartment where Teodros had been. When he left, he hauled ass over there también.
Con el niño.
Con
Isaac. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The police were called, obviously, and the SWAT was there because they took Isaac. Right? So it's like a hostage situation because it's not their kid. The tactical team and everything, it was like 2 hours where I actually managed to get them to come out of the apartment.
Wow.
And so they managed to get everybody out of the apartment. Asmerom, Teodros, and other family members that were in the apartment.
Recap, Asmerom is the person that was shooting up the apartment.
Yeah.
Which is the brother-in-law of the wife. Of
the husband that died.
So
sorry,
the widow.
I know.
No, I know. No, it's a little confusing, but I just want to make sure we're all on that. Because if I feel confused, I'm guessing that our listeners are a little confused.
It's a lot of names. I'm sorry. Yeah. Now, cuando salieron del apartment, Isaac was returned to the remaining Mehari family that didn't pass away. You remember there was a lot of them. Both Asmerom and Teodros were arrested.
So they were killed instantly is my question.
Yes.
Okay.
Asmerom was just straight up saying, yes, I did it. It was me. No fucks.
Oh, he didn't give a shit.
No, he said it was in self-defense. We're going to get there.
Let's take a quick break.
Persons of Interest is back, and it's bigger than ever.
That scream will echo in my head for many years.
Taser! Taser! He's going to shoot!
Oi! Shot fired. Shots fired.
Stay down! You've got a gun on you!
He had the perfect aim.
I am absolutely stressed at that point. I have no idea where my officers are.
Persons of Interest available everywhere you get your podcasts.
What the fuck? This motherfucker said in self-defense. No fucks given.
So while being questioned, Teodros said that Regby had invited him to Thanksgiving the day before. When he was at the apartment, he was playing with Isaac, and he heard Yeferem yelling at Asmerom that he didn't know Asmerom was going to be there or who could have opened the door for him. According to Teodros, Yeferem pulled out a gun, and Asmerom had his gun too, and he started shooting in the air. And then that's...
To scare him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's when he grabbed Isaac and said, we're fucking getting out of here because people are shooting. Y se lo llevó. That's according to Teodros, which is Asmerom's brother.
Mm-hmm.
In his questioning, Asmerom told investigators about his belief that La Familia de Winta
Otra vez. Su verga, man.
And her family had something to do with Abraham's death.
I have a question. So I know a lot of people are probably like what is driving this man to this? Do you think it was because something was his brother giving him money or something?
I don't
or something
know.
like that, you know?
My more coffee just arrived for me.
More coffee just arrived for Estela.
Delivered.
So that's my question. Was he, what was his drive to find out what happened to his brother? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, there has to be more behind it. But
¿Cuál es tu pinche pedo? I'm being serious.
And I try to look up, YouTube, if there's any, interviews, if there's, other people have done nothing. I found one, and that's it.
Wow. Okay.
Again, he was being questioned. He was like, hey, I think they killed my brother, and I think it was because this and this and this, right? So, which is the insurance policy.
And the insurance policy. Okay.
So, Yeferem and Mehari were also questioned. And these are the ones, not the one that jumped out of the window because he's in the hospital, but the other ones.
Mm-hmm. That were also there.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And whose family are they?
Meharis,
which is the family of
the sister-in-law.
Okay.
Winta.
Uh-huh.
And they had some inconsistencies in how certain things happened, like what happened when Asmerom entered the apartment. Yeferem said that Asmerom came in and said, everybody here killed Abraham, and I'm going to kill you.
Su madre. Sigue.
But Mehari dijo que Asmerom entró and didn't say anything. And he just started shooting.
Huh. Interesting.
And Mehari also said that Asmerom only had one gun, while Yeferem said that Asmerom came in with 2 guns. But that they did both agree that he had not been invited.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and I know they say that como se dice, eyewitness testimonies are super inconsistent, for everybody.
Yeah, because everybody hears and sees everything
and
different.
then your mind tries to fill in gaps or tries to be maybe it happened like this, and you make yourself think that that's the way that it happened when it didn't, you know?
No, I completely agree with that. Yeah. They're not going to be the exact stories.
Right. And 2 guns were recovered at the scene.
That's what I was going to say. There was 2 guns at the scene.
It was the 9mm, which is the one that Asmerom used to shoot. and it was registered to one of his other brothers. I think this is how you say his name, Muligueta.
So there was two guns that were recovered, and then one was registered to the
one of the other brothers.
One of the other brothers.
Muligueta?
Yeah.
Muligueta. I don't know. Anyways, and the other one was a .380 automatic pistol that was actually reported stolen from the registered owner, but I couldn't find who the registered owner was, or if it was one of the Gebreselassies or just somebody else. Mm-hmm. But that gun did have all the bullets inside of it.
Oh shit!
And the only one that was missing bullets was the 9mm gun.
That's weird.
So obviously, only one gun was used in the shooting.
Yes.
So Asmerom and Tewodros were charged with 3 counts of murder, attempted murder, kidnapping, and false imprisonment by violence.
Oh, because of Isaac. Okay.
Yeah. And they pleaded not guilty. So there was going to be a trial.
Okay. So you just said that you did shoot them, but now you're saying you didn't shoot them? I'm confused.
But he said his thing was saying that he was doing it in self-defense. So it really can't be, like murder, first-degree murder, because he didn't go there with the intent of murdering them, right? It would kind of be like manslaughter, because if it was
true,
right?
Okay, yeah.
Now, the trial began in January of 2011 when your daughter was born.
I was about to say. And then I was like, oh, this is a recent case. And you were like, no, it was like in 2006. And I'm like, oh, well, that was kind of the time that I got married. Mm-hmm. So,
You got married in 2009.
Well, in 2006 is when I left with your brother.
Yeah.
So that means that, that's
common
how old
law.
That's how old we are.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, it's an older case. I'm like, that's not old, bitch.
So the trial, like I said, it started in January 2011 and it lasted 4 months. So Asmerom was representing himself.
Oh, Jesus, girl.
Like, I don't
understand.
Like,
leave that to the professionals.
Right?
Leave that to the professionals.
Has it ever gone well for someone? I want to know.
I want to know. I need this information.
Yeah.
Si alguien se representó solo en la corte y ganó, güey. Porque they always do that shit. And not only that, but you look stupid. Like, don't do that.
Bitch.
It's like people that think that they're doctors. You're not a doctor.
He would have outbursts in court when he would like get agitated or he didn't like something.
Bitch.
And just like a lot of misconduct like all across the board. So on February 16th, the court terminated his right to represent himself.
Good.
Because he was just acting up.
So let me tell you, I don't know. This is a side story, and I'm sorry if I'm being
no, go
overstepping.
I like your side stories.
Side story, there's a case that is going around with that guy that killed all those people.
That at the parade at the Waukesha. I'm sorry.
Waukesha. My sister Vanessa was showing me the TikToks.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I went on and watched some of the... Girl, this man was acting a fucking fool.
You're so fucking condescending, dude, to
like,
the judge.
He was rude to the judge. The judge, I'm like, why in the fuck don't they do like this guy? That they were just like, dude, you can't represent yourself anymore, motherfucker. Like,
Did he
you're
represent himself throughout the whole trial?
Yes. And they let him.
Well, I'm sure he shot himself in the foot.
So if y'all want to
I'm sure.
watch that stupid ass,
no, we don't want to give him news.
Don't give him any news. But let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you right now, he's a fucking pendejo. Oh my god, it was horrible.
Yeah.
So in this case, they did tell him he's not allowed to represent himself.
Yeah.
But why didn't they do that to this other guy?
I don't know. There was different circumstances.
I guess it depends on the states. Okay.
So he had to get an actual lawyer, and I believe he went through like 5 of them.
Oh my god.
He's just something else.
Yes.
Now, the prosecution was trying to prove that Asmerom and Tewodros planned this together.
Okay.
And it was to kill Winta and her family as revenge for killing Abraham, which they believed.
I was about to say, which allegedly.
Allegedly. They believed that. Those were their beliefs. That Tewodros let him in, and Asmerom killed the Meharis.
Okay.
In court, Asmerom, and he kind of contradicts himself, so then I'm like,
maybe?
What?
No? Mm-hmm.
So Asmerom says that he went to Regby's apartment that day because lo invitaron.
Okay.
That he had been visiting the family this whole time after after Abraham had passed, and all the way up until Thanksgiving, y que that there were no problems between the families.
Yeah, because he was there for his nephew, for Isaac.
Asmerom.
What?
Not Tewodros.
I know, but isn't that the guy? I know, but they were trying to keep it civil. Like he was there.
That was according to him.
According to him. Yeah. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry.
No. And that Winta still had a good relationship with the Gebreselassie family. Mm-hmm. He says that as soon as he entered the apartment, Yeferem and Merhawi attacked him. Y that's when he needed to defend himself y sacó su pistola. And that he had a gun on him porque cuando lo invitaron al apartamento, they told him to come by himself and that he found out really suspicious. And he wanted to be prepared just in case. So he was like, let me grab a gun. That was according to Asmerom, right?
Uh-huh.
So the prosecutor? It was
prosecutor.
Prosecutor. Mm-hmm. Prosecutor. Okay.
The prosecutor?
Prosecutor?
No.
Prosecutor.
Prosecutor.
It sounded weird. So her name was Joni Leventis, argued that the Mehari family wouldn't have invited Asmerom into the apartment since their relationship had turned sour because they didn't trust him. You know, he had been getting in their faces about them killing Abraham, remember?
Yes, girl.
And that some of the Gebrесelassie's family were treating Winta like shit.
I believe it.
So cuando este güey, Asmerom, said that he was invited to the Thanksgiving family and that things were
weird.
okay,
yeah.
The prosecutor presented a copy of an entry in Winta's diary from September 8th, diciendo, where she wrote kind of like about how the Gebreselassie family had kind of been kind of shitty to her and were treating her really unfairly and were making things really hard for her. And I'm going to read like a little tidbit of it. I think in this entry, she needed a specific type of tax form, and they were just being like really dicks to her about it, and they were giving her trouble in getting that tax form. Mm-hmm. And she wrote, and I quote, he is purposely not giving me the paper, and there is no way for me to get any copies of the paper because this is the bank returned to the original check. It is not fair what the whole family is doing to me, and I never did anything to them. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
End quote.
End quote. And obviously there's way more in the...
I really want to learn how to say end quote in Spanish or quote in Spanish.
¿Cuota?
No, cuota es lo que pagas. Pero like, so that we can say it in Spanish. That would be cool.
Look it up.
Not right now, but okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she also wrote this really cute thing at the end of this entry. And I know it has nothing to do with this part, but I just thought it was really cute. And it said, and I quote, I have my son, my lovely, charming son, scratching his hands from his allergies he has. He likes it when I scratch it for him. I was like, oh. Porque Isaac, dude, is so cute. He's so cute with little chubby cheeks. And then nomás me lo imagino así rascándose
la manita, pobrecito. Ya se quedó sin su mami.
Yeah, and sin su daddy.
Yeah, I know.
So,
son los que sufren, son los niños.
Yeah,
dude.
Always,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the entry kind of alludes to, you know, be like, hey, she didn't feel comfortable with you guys. You guys were being shitty to her.
Why would she invite you?
Why would her mom invite you knowing that she was going to be at the apartment también?
Exactly.
They're like, Mafo, you fucking lying, right?
You're lying, bitch.
And Asmerom kind of said that didn't really mean anything because those were Winta's view of things, but that wasn't how things really were, like on their side.
That makes no sense. I just want you to know that. No tiene ningún sentido esas madres que estás diciendo because how the fuck are you gonna... She wrote it down for a reason. That's her feelings, you know. By the way, if you don't keep a diary, you should because diaries are bomb.
That's what he was saying. He was like, those are her feelings, but that's not how we meant things, you know. They're just...
That's so stupid. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Okay, whatever. Go ahead.
So, like I said, contrary to what Asmerom was stating, Yeferem testified and recounted an encounter with Asmerom about 6 weeks before the shooting.
Okay.
The murders. Dijo que he said that Asmerom and Tesfu, one of the other brothers, came to his place of work and accused him of killing Abraham.
Otra vez.
And proceeded to hurl insults at them about him and his family. I think he ended up calling Regby like a slut and a prostitute or something like that. I'm like, bro.
Bring it down, bro.
Bring it down, bro. Asmerom and Tesfu left after Yeferem said he was going to call the police if they didn't leave his work of employment.
Work of employment.
They went to his job.
Work of employment?
Like you had nothing better to do? You couldn't wait till he got home?
Bitch,
you had to go look for him at his job?
Like you're going to give me my ass fired. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Now, when Woodrose testifies, he pretty much stuck to his story during his questioning.
Yeah.
And he said that he was invited and that he didn't tell Asmerom that he was going to go. And he didn't know that Asmerom was going to be there too. He says that he didn't see who opened the door for Asmerom. But it wasn't him.
Huh. Okay.
And that was the thing that they had against Woodrose. Asmerom did the shooting, but the prosecution was trying to prove that he alerted Asmerom that everybody was gathered at the apartment.
And that everybody was there.
And that everybody was there. And that he opened the door for Asmerom, knowing that he was going to go in there and kill the Mehari family. Wow. Or was going to try and kill.
Okay.
Now, in court, Mehari testified that Woodrow's was near the door. Remember when they were eating?
Yeah.
He saw him unlock the lower lock. He tried to open the door, pero that the top lock was still on. Pero luego sonó remember? You said landlines, remember? Sonó el teléfono. And he went in and picked it up, and it was one of his brothers that lives in London, so he was chatting with his brother. Y dijo que from where he was standing, he didn't see Woodrow's actually open the door.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was Mehari's view of who opened the door, right? Ephraim testified that he did see Woodrow's unlock both locks, el de arriba y el de abajo, and open the door. And then he said that he saw him leaving with Isaac. Ephraim is saying that he saw him open the door.
Yeah.
Angussum testified that he saw Woodrow's pace by the front door for several minutes, but he did not see that he unlocked it or that he opened it from where he was sitting, because I think it was kind of like partially covering from where he was sitting in the apartment to the door. So he just saw that he could see him, lo miró caminando enfrente de la puerta, but he never actually physically saw him unlock it and open it, the door.
Yes.
So all three of the brothers did say that he was on the phone. They saw him on the cell phone, and which the prosecution theorized that he was alerting Asmerom that it was time to come to the apartment, que ahí estaban todos. And cell phone records do show that Woodrow's called, I think this is how you say the name, Dawit, 2 times. And he's another Gebreselassie brother, because remember there's 8. And Dawit was at his mom's apartment, where Asmerom was at the apartment too. So they thought that the phone records didn't show any phone calls between Woodrow's and Asmerom, but the phone calls did show 2 calls to Dawit. So it's kind of like a signal. Well, they're in the same place. I'm going to call him so he can tell him, you know?
Yeah. Get it. Okay.
One call was at 2:57 p.m. And it showed that it connected for 3 seconds. But it was kind of like, like when the voicemail picks up and it still records that, somebody answered the call. Or it could have just gone to voicemail. Now, the second call was at 3:04 p.m.
Okay.
And it fully went through. But
somebody answered.
But it lasted 0 seconds. Like somebody picked it up and hung up.
Right. Pues entonces eso puede ser like a hey.
I'm just going to call you and hang up and that's it. That's what I thought too.
Como de decirle, I'm going to call and then.
But we're not going to say anything.
But we're not going to say anything.
I'm just going to call and hang up or something.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, Woodrow's denies being on the phone.
Okay.
His lawyer stated in court that his client shouldn't be found guilty at all because there isn't sufficient evidence that proves that he was the one to let Asmerom into the apartment.
I know what you're saying, sister, pero the thing is, if there's phone records.
Hold on.
Yeah.
There's something with that I'm going to say real quick.
Oh, okay.
And his lawyer said that it was possible that Isaac, who was playing with Woodrow's phone, could have made those calls accidentally.
Oh, shit.
Because remember,
because
Isaac had the phone and they were playing it was a flip phone, 2006.
See, wait, pero what is he watching YouTube on?
No. He said that he was just opening it and close it, and they were playing ringtones, Woodrow's was playing ringtones on the phone para Isaac, he was 2. Isaac was 2, con cualquier cosa se entretiene. And he said that maybe, before you have to assign somebody to a speed dial, a number. And he said that maybe Isaac pressed the number and the call didn't go through because he would just press the number and it would close the phone, which would hang up the call, which wouldn't make the call really go through.
See, wait, pero think about it. If it was ringing long enough, he would have had to stand there with the phone ringing open.
Isaac.
Right. So if
and then
that's
he was
the
just
case,
maybe he was just pressing buttons.
I know what you mean, but if he's closing and opening the phone.
No, not closing it and opening. He wasn't actually doing that, but they feel the call could have ended if Isaac just closed the phone.
See, wait, pero not only that, pero there's 3 people that said that he was on the fucking phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So then how is it that Isaac putting it on his ear también?
But wouldn't need to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's stupid.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
No, and obviously there's way more detail on here because I think the phone service that he had was Metro PCS. And I remember Vanessa used to call it Metro piece of shit.
Yeah,
because,
my mom.
Oh, your mom. I'm sorry, not Vanessa.
Because it was horrible.
It was horrible service. And they had one of the representatives that kind of gave a little bit more detail of what those calls could have been. And then I think somebody from a T-Mobile también came and gave their input.
So Metro is kind of like a cricket or like a secondary line. So kind of like I don't know if people remember this or not. I mean, I'm old as fuck, but you know how you would buy those prepaid phones, you could use them with that. So maybe that's what it was.
That was like back in 2006 because they were prepaid, right? Like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the end, jurors deliberated for 6 days.
6 days.
Jurors. How do you say it?
I don't know.
Jurors.
Just whatever you want to say.
Both brothers were convicted of 3 counts of first-degree murder with special circumstances, which were committing multiple murders and committing murder during the course of a kidnapping. Also premeditated attempted murder, kidnapping, and false imprisonment.
What happened to the guy that threw himself from the 3rd floor?
He was fine. I mean, he survived.
Oh, he survived. Okay,
yeah, because he testified in court.
Okay.
They were sentenced to 3 life terms in prison in August of 2011. And at the actual sentencing, Asmerom went off at the judge. The judge's name was Vernon Nakahara. And as he was reading out the sentences, he shouted Asmerom to the judge, and I quote, "You know who's evil? You're evil. You're a criminal. Go back to Japan. You're an insult to our criminal justice system. This is not Japan. This is the United States." End quote. End quote. And one of his sisters también began shouting at the judge, so they all had to be removed from the court.
Bitch, you don't say that to the judge?
It's just, you're
fucking
being
racist ass?
Bro,
you're
an immigrant.
Like, what the hell? That kills me, dude. That kills me, but that's another story. Wow.
Now, Asmerom and Tewodros both appealed their convictions, and Asmerom's was upheld, but Tewodros's was overturned, and they were going to set up to have a new trial on the basis that Judge Nakahara incorrectly admitted 2 unrelated statements from a detective that were based on the detective's opinion and not a fact.
Okay.
Right. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now his case was set for a retrial, but Tewodros pleaded no contest to those charges. And it was 3 charges actually of voluntary manslaughter, and he was sentenced to 10 years for that because he pleaded guilty, instead of actually going to trial to the
which
retrial.
Is probably what his
and he got 10 years,
wanted. Yeah.
Which they took as time served because he had already been in prison. So he was actually released in August of 2016.
So he probably served less than
for like good behavior or whatever.
Yeah, good behavior, yeah.
Now, after the murders, the bodies of Winta, Jonas, and Regby were, shipped. It sounds bad saying shipped, but they were returned back to Eritrea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To be buried. That was their home country. And Berkeley High School, where Jonas used to go to school.
Oh, he was 17.
He was 17. He was a senior.
Yes.
He was a senior in high school, dude, and he was doing so much. Their schools did like juntaron dinero. $3,000 to help them ship them back to Eritrea. And
because it's not cheap to go back to your country, guys.
Yeah,
it's not.
And dude, in high school, like
even like us that we don't go, like the Mexicans, that we don't go that far. It's across the border, especially here. Es un pinche dineral. Like it's not something you could just do. Like if you want to go back to your country, I'm gonna need you to leave money because girl.
Just burn me, bitch. Just cremate my ass.
Same. I'm a poof anyway.
Yeah. The high school, like Jonas, dude, he was popular. Aww. He played soccer, ran cross country. He would tutor people, and he was
so involved.
He co-funded the Eritrean Ethiopian Student Union.
Get it, girl. Yes. He's a bad bitch of the story.
Mm-hmm. And you kind of see it like, bro, and he just did so much. Dude, he tried to help everybody. He was always doing something. That is because at 17.
At 17. Not only that, but do you know how hard it is, and especially in the United States, being a place where there's a lot of people around here that we know are immigrants, right? But for you, the way that people in the country see us as immigrant children, we don't get the respect that other children get because of our color of our skin, right? Mm-hmm. So do you imagine how hard that should have been for him to be able to put together enough, sources and all of that thing? And he must have been a fucking leader, dude.
Yeah, that's the way they describe him, a leader.
That's
like
awesome.
One of his, I think one of his teachers said that she was writing a recommendation letter for the University of California because he was a senior when she heard that he had passed away. Pobrecito. She was in the middle of writing his letter of recommendation. And she said that she just couldn't fucking believe it.
Perro maldito.
Like, he would have been somebody, Like,
I can't believe he killed him like that.
Yeah.
For no reason. He's literally at Thanksgiving dinner, dude.
With his family. In his home.
Chilling. In his apartment.
Yeah.
With his mom and his family and just chilling. Just like us right now.
Now, remember how I said that Winta was going to the university?
School, yeah.
Yeah.
They were all, it seemed like her whole family was very like into school and that
like
kind
trying
of stuff.
to do something for themselves.
Uh-huh.
And she was supposed to graduate that spring of 2007. Remember, she was murdered in November of 2006. So she was literally like a semester away from graduating.
Man.
And she had been going to school for 4 years, and I guess she got pregnant with Isaac, so maybe like slowed her down a little bit, but she was still going.
Yeah.
So after Winta passed away, the university held a ceremony and presented Winta's surviving family and her son Isaac with her degree. Yeah.
Oh man, that gave me chills.
Yeah.
That gave me chills. That is so amazing. You know what? The community was awesome too. Like that's amazing. Oh my God. I am so happy for her son that was able to experience that. Imagine
he was a baby.
Yeah, but he's never gonna forget that. Like, he has the pictures and stuff like that. So he's like, his mom was awesome. Yeah. And till the end. Yeah. That's so crazy. With this fucking idiot.
Deal, dude, and his family doing it to you. Like, it's your family doing it to your family.
Dude, I cannot believe it. Like, he still has that blood. That's his blood family, That's crazy.
And that's the case of the Thanksgiving murders. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate all you guys' support. We hope that you keep listening, and you can send us a message at
cafecitoandcrimepod@gmail.com.
Or you can follow us on Instagram at
cafecitoandcrimepod.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
That's
okay.
it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next time, Barbie will take our meds.
My pleasure.
And I will drink less coffee. No, I won't. Okay, bye.